Howdy folks, my name is Vic Iglesias. I'm a cloud solutions architect with Google Cloud. And today I'd like to walk through an architecture of a GitOps-based CI/CD pipeline. When we talk about CI/CD pipelines, we really have to think about three different personas: the developers, the operators, and the security engineers. Our developers are going to have their own Git repository where they store their application code. That application code is also going to be able to kick off continuous integration whenever you get a commit. And that continuous integration job is used to create an artifact. When we're talking about deploying to Kubernetes, our artifacts are container images. So once continuous integration creates that container image, it's going to store it in a container registry. That process is going to go ahead and notify another repository that something has changed. In that repository, we have our operators creating configuration that then says how our application is actually going to be deployed. In order to manage that configuration, our Kubernetes manifest, we're going to use a tool called Kustomize. Kustomize is going to add in that container image reference into our config, and then commit that Kubernetes set of Kubernetes manifests into a Git repository. That Git repository stores the state that we want to apply into our environments. The first place where we store that state is within the staging branch of this repository. And that goes ahead and deploys it straight to our staging environment. Now developers can test out those changes, see them live in a staging environment, and once they're happy, they're going to tell the operators that they want to make a push to production, or the operators can decide to do that on their own. In order to do that, they're going to merge from the staging branch of this repository into the master branch, and that's going to propagate those changes down into the production environment. Now, we haven't yet talked about how we get those production environments to be secure. The way we're going to do that is by letting the security engineers have their own repository. And that repository is going to store the state that we're going to use to apply policy across all of our clusters. We're going to use Anthos config management to do that. We can store that state in a repository that has a structure that allows us to apply to select clusters or all clusters a certain set of configurations. For those security engineers, those configurations are going to be things like role-based access control policies, quotas for various applications, and things like restricting the ability of containers to run as root. So now they can make all of those commits in an auditable Git repo and then have them apply to all of their production infrastructure. Thank you for listening. Please come visit us at the Google Cloud booth at KubeCon.